following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Phoenix. This is Brother Mike. I'm back on the radio. America. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Thank you for tuning in today's Bible study. Methodists. It's gays versus the straights. Hey, we've got some maintained radio programs on. We've got some interesting things to teach on today about the conflict in all the churches in America, not just the Methodists, but I'm using them as an example. I'll make some announcements. You make the calls. Thanks for helping the ministry. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center in Central Phoenix on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road. Next month, I'll be 18 years on the radio here in the Valley. Thanks to all my KXXT Christian radio listeners and all my new listeners on darkskyradio.com on the internet. May God bless you. Go to the website, hardcorechristianity.com. We have 2 services every week. Thursday nights is our healing room, no appointment necessary. Friday nights, my teaching service for my radio listeners. You can catch our YouTube streaming teaching channel off the website. You can sign up for our next free seminar. It's going to be The Bomb this month, The Root Cause and the Cure of Mentally Ill Christians, Part 2, Seminar Part 2. This is the seminar where I have all the videos that you can watch to see exactly how these mental illnesses work. You can send us another donation on our PayPal. Don't forget to send me an email, mike@hardcorechristianity.com, if you need a donation receipt for your 2019 taxes. Thank you for another record year of giving. May God richly bless you. Sister Karen and I thank you for all your referrals to her to list your home for sale. She loves working with born-again Christians. That went very well. She is everybody really likes her, and she does an excellent job listing your homes. May God richly bless you. Thank you for all your support. Methodists, gays versus straights. Methodism. Yeah, that's a denomination that popped up in 1968 here in the United States. It's completely changed from what it was originally, when it was originally founded. It's an incredibly spiritually kind of bankrupt Christian church denomination. But they've got like 10 or 12, 13 million members here in the United States. Their overall attendance is declining. But a pipe bomb went off in the Methodist Church not too long ago. They had, in fact, it was February of 2019 when the pipe bomb went off. They had a special session of the church's general conference, and 53% of the church leaders in attendance voted to uphold the ban on same-sex marriage and also applying it to their clergy. They also upheld the ban on any practicing homosexuals, gay, lesbians, what have you, to be a minister in the denomination. So this caused, a pretty big schism because in 2014, Pew Research Center did a survey of the Methodist denomination, and they discovered that 60% of the membership said that homosexuality should be accepted as normal in the church. So they had this split going on, and by the way, this thing is going to hit, if it hasn't already hit, every single Christian church denomination in the United States. This thing is huge, and it's going to sweep not only the United States, but all the Christian churches as well. There will always be a major conflict on chapter 1 in Romans, for example, where it outlines the sin of gay and lesbian behavior. It's a sinful behavior. In the same way that serial adultery is a sinful behavior. Okay? If you're a heterosexual male or female and you're committing adultery, having affairs, office affairs, cheating on your spouse, living with somebody. That's all the same thing. It's all of this stuff's the same thing. It's all some form of sexual perversion demon, some form of lust demon. It's a sin in the eyes of God. But 60% of the members of the Methodist Church do not believe that anymore. They don't feel that homosexuality, gay or lesbian, is a sin. Period. Okay, they don't believe that anymore. And so what happened was the church has decided to split. There's going to be two Methodist churches here soon. One of them is a fundamentalist Methodist religion, and the other one will be inclusive of homosexuality, and they're going to split the thing up. Now, the way they worked it was they allotted, I think, $39 or $40 million, something of that nature, to the new church fundamentalist denomination. And they had to work out the economics of the church. Obviously, you got retirement plans, you've got pastoral salaries, you've got money allotted for expenses for churches, and all this stuff had to be audited out and separated and figured out to be able to accommodate the split in the church, because it's so bad, it's not reconcilable. And that's exactly what the Word of God is. It's unreconcilable. The Bible doesn't change from one century to another. So if our society changes, that has nothing to do with the Bible. It never changes, literally. It's always the same. Okay? Lying is a sin. It was a sin 300 years ago, 100 years ago, 1 week ago. It's still a sin right now. If you have sexual intercourse with somebody who is not your spouse, that is called adultery if it is not the same sex. If it's the same sex, it falls in the category of fornication. Adultery is heterosexual sex. Doesn't matter whether you're married or not. The way the New Testament uses the Greek word moikia, it simply means heterosexual sex. Fornication is the Greek word porneia. It means any form of sexual sin, which could be gay, lesbian, any form of sexual sin. Dancing on a pole, lasciviousness, wantonness, pedophilia, anything. Any form of sexual sin falls under the category of fornication or porneia. So technically, homosexuality is fornication. It is not adultery. If you are married to someone of the opposite sex and you have an affair, that is called both fornication and adultery. All adultery is fornication, but not all fornication is adultery. For example, if you have sexual relations with an animal, that is not adultery, it's fornication, porneia. If you have an office affair and you're married to someone of the opposite sex and you do the same thing at the office and you have an affair, that is called fornication, porneia, and moikia, adultery. The Methodist Church now has decided to split over the concept of fornication. Fornication. All right, let's have a pop quiz. Let's say that you become Bill Clinton and you have an affair that only involves oral sex. Bill Clinton had an affair when he was president and was enjoying bouts of oral sex in his office. The person performing the oral sex was a female. Therefore, that was considered adultery. It is heterosexual sexual sin. It was not considered homosexuality or bestiality because he was having an affair, emotional and physical sexual behavior with a female. Had a male been performing oral sex on the president, that would have been considered fornication, and it is not considered adultery. If President Clinton was having a sexual affair with a collie, that would be considered bestiality. That would not be considered adultery, but it would be considered fornication. In the Methodist Church now, and every church denomination, by the way, the Southern Baptists are the largest Christian denomination in the United States. They've also gone through this, and they are having a number of Southern Baptists come forward and saying exactly what this Pew Research poll found. Many of Southern Baptists are inclusive of LGBTQ rights, beliefs, practices. They want homosexuality to be included in as normal in Christianity. But in Romans chapter 1, there isn't any possible way to get around these scriptures. It's not possible, friend. You cannot do it. Verse 27, Romans 1. Likewise, men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust for one another. Men with men, working that which is unseemly. That's what it says in verse 27. There isn't any other way to get around that verse. Verse 28, even they did not want to retain the knowledge of God. So God gave them over to a reprobate mind. So what's happening here in the Methodist Church is the fundamentalist group is leading them to a reprobate mind. The Methodist Church now is headed into the world of reprobates. And that's what they are from this day forward, spiritual reprobates. Listen to me carefully. If you have same-sex attraction or you have issues with homosexuality, gay or lesbian, and you are a born-again Christian, you can be cured, you can be healed, you can be delivered, and you can get these benefits for free. The gospel is free. The love of God is free. 602-636-5800. You do not have to live with this turmoil in your body that the Methodist Church is living with in their denomination. The denomination is splitting because there's a war going on. If you have that war, you can be set free.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.